The time it is. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from July 23rd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from July 23rd, 2019, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Additions and deletions, we need to add under new business, 2 requests for the use of the town hall. Are there any other additions or deletions? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to the warrants.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 1, payroll, in the amount of $12,301.92.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying payroll warrant number 1 in the amount of $12,301.92 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 2, payroll tax, in the amount of $5,044.35.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying payroll tax warrant number 2 in the amount of $5,044.35 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 3 out of the general fund, in the amount of $9,975.41.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 3 in the amount of $9,975.41 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 4 out of the general fund, in the amount of $2,450.
540.
Yeah.
2,000.
450. Okay, so the numbers are reversed, okay.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 2 in the amount of $2,450 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 5 out of the general fund, in the amount of $1,374.65.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 5 in the amount of $1,374.65 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 6, $898.99.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 6 in the amount of $898.99 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 7 out of the highway fund, the amount of $62.67.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying highway warrant number 7 in the amount of $62.67 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 8 out of the highway fund, in the amount of $2,050.45.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying highway warrant number 8 in the amount of $2,050.45 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 9 out of the equipment fund, in the amount of $115.19.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying the equipment warrant number 8 in the amount of in the amount of $115.19 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 10 out of the equipment fund, in the amount of $1,332.63.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying equipment warrant number 10 in the amount of $1,332.63 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. All right, we're moving on to reports, the highway.
We are currently working on the Grafton Road. We're doing shoulders when the roads are dry, and when they're wet, we're doing tree cutting and chipping. Also, the library parking lot is scheduled to be repaved this Thursday and Friday. It'll be tore up on Thursday. It'll be paved on Friday. I've been in contact with both the post office and the library. And I believe Carla put up some notices. And also, our new truck arrived. And it's scheduled to be brought up to Viking in about 3 weeks.
Okay,
So we're on schedule.
That's exciting.
good. Any questions about highway? No? Alrighty, then moving on, counter report. I didn't see one, so I'm assuming there wasn't a counter sheet today. Treasurer,
Sweep account, you have $820,607.21. Your checking account is $28,868.62.
are there any questions? Then moving on to correspondence. Okay, we received, or there was done, a walkthrough recently, an risk assessment, done for the VLCT of all the buildings in town. One of the things they did recommend, or they recommend some changes to the buildings themselves as far as fire extinguishers, etc. But they also came back and recommended that the town garage be changed, the value changed. They're recommending, or they're saying, they're claiming that our town garage building is currently insured for $593,000 and it should be insured for $1,100,000. The difference in premium to make that kind of change is $2,650 per year. So I don't know if that's something the board would like to consider doing. We currently have replacement costs up to that $503,000. But they're saying that we can, for that extra money, we can go up and get guaranteed replacement costs, which means that even if it were to exceed, there's actually no cap on the amount of money that would be spent to rebuild it if it were to be destroyed. So that is something that they recommended and they sent a package back. I don't know if that's something you want to entertain, think about, whatever. Any thoughts?
It doesn't seem necessary to me.
Is it just the structure, not the contents?
It's just the
Just-
structure.
Not the contents, not the.
Kind of high for
No,
just
no.
the structure.
Yeah,
They didn't budget, it's not in the budget to have that
No.
kind of increase.
no.
I would say we take their chances.
Alright,
Yeah, I would move that we leave the insurance as is.
you actually gonna make a motion to do that?
Mhm.
Okay, is there a second to the
Second.
motion? Okay, is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor of leaving the insurance on the highway garage as it stands, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the motion passes. All right, so then we also received a letter from the new sheriff. And it says, "Dear Select Board, as some of you no doubt read in the papers, I was appointed by Governor Phil Scott on July 11th, 2019 as the Sheriff of Windham County. While new to this particular role, I am entering my 16th year serving Windham County, and it's likely we've already met or at least conversed in some capacity." Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Anyway, the Windham County Sheriff's Office is an organization of dedicated, motivated, highly trained professionals. We provide services both conspicuous and discreet throughout Windham County and Vermont, including but not limited to community policing, prisoner transportation, civil process, regional dispatching, functioning as a county fingerprint station, and coordinating regional crash reduction efforts. Via this letter, I'm hoping to make clear my intention to both continue these services while possibly expanding them to meet your own individual community-specific needs. Already, I've identified new and better ways to serve Windham County than in the past. We've begun to reduce municipal costs in emergency dispatching, enhanced our staff to handle criminal investigations and quality of life policing issues, and we're helping to place the county at Vermont's forefront in responding to opioid-related deaths, specifically training our staff in responding to this crisis and developing interdisciplinary relationships with partners. These are only some of the issues that we've identified, but I am sensitive to Windham County's diversity and the many unique needs of the towns within it. As such, I would like to make this open-ended offer of dialogue with each and every town or village, whether Wyndham County Sheriff's Department has an active contract with you or not. I would, in short, like to make this transition of leadership an opportunity to hear issues that affect you and to tailor whatever services we can provide you in the future. Yours in service, Mark Anderson, Sheriff of Wyndham County. So, I guess the question would be, would we like to invite the sheriff to come speak to us before we actually begin our budgeting season in October and see what the sheriff's department might have to offer?
Sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion to extend an invitation to the sheriff so that we can have Carla do that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion passes. So if you could be in touch, Carla, and you've got our meeting scheduled, most any time would be okay, that he might be free. And we'll just schedule a time to have him come and speak to us. Okay. Then, members of the public, Mrs. Davis, do you have anything to say?
I'm not here.
Okay, there's nobody here.
What was that?
The ghosts are
If you're not
talking
here, raise
today.
your hand.
Taft Mowing bids. We didn't receive any via mail, and I know Carla did have a couple people who expressed interest, and we have written, I guess it would be a bid, it's not sealed, but that's okay, from Rob that said he'll mow all the field out in the Taft Meadow area for $1,400, if we would like to consider that.
That's the only bid we received.
That's the only we received.
I would like to consider that. Grass is getting kind of high out
It is
there.
getting, no doubt. So would somebody like to make a motion?
I would move that we accept Rob's bid to mow the Taft Meadow fields for $1,400. That's for the single season, correct?
10 years.
For this season.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of engaging Mr. Rob Wright to mow the Taft Meadow fields for $1,400, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
All right.
The motion passes. So, I guess what? You get to mow the field.
Lucky me.
Yeah. Here's your letter back. We're gonna do it that way. Okay. Then fire extinguishers. I spoke to the fire chief and he was in touch with,
Code 3.
Code
Code
3,
three.
yes. And they were supposed to have been in contact with us. Evidently, they've spoken to Anita at some point in time, but we still have had no action on getting these fire extinguishers taken care of. Have you had any luck at the garage either? No.
Nope.
So, I don't know what more to do. I don't know who else could.
Is there another company that does that around here?
There's one in Robert.
In Rutland? Know the name off your top of your head?
No, call Ronnie Green, he could tell you.
Okay.
9778 is his slide. Or number.
Okay. Well, maybe we can give somebody else another call because I know all the buildings in town are in the same boat.
Yep.
Yep.
So we need to follow up on that, particularly as we continue getting into the winter season, number one. And number two, also have, the rentals going on in the town hall. So Carl, one of us will follow up on, see if we can run down that number from Rutland. All right, and, oh dear, I don't remember seeing that. There it is. At the last meeting, we accepted a bid from Brown's to replace the big old furnace downstairs that you see upstairs. And we accepted a bid for $4,900. We did the math after the fact, and in the budget, there's $2,500 that was set aside for repair and whatnot for the town hall, which leaves a balance of $2,400.
Mhm.
So the question becomes, do you want to do a $2,400 deficit in the building, in the town hall, or do we want to use part of the RDAG money to actually offset that furnace expense?
Yes,
I think that, yeah, I would move that we use the RDAG money.
yes. Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion on that, or does everybody understand what we're doing?
Any thought about replacing the windows or somehow?
The problem with trying to replace the windows in this building, this is a historic building, which means you have to replace them with exactly the same type of glass.
Like replacing, right?
It,
Very expensive.
yeah.
Cheaper for the workers to wear gloves.
And boots and hats and scarves.
It's going right out the window up there at our house.
Well, see, the upstairs isn't heated in the winter. It's completely shut off and not heated in the winter. The only part that's heated is this downstairs area, and that's been, I know the vents have been looked at and numerous other things to try to make this a little bit more efficient. The fire doors help immensely, keeping the heat down here, so. All right, any other discussion on that? All right, so then, hearing
Did we
none.
vote? Yeah,
All those in favor of using $2,400 from the RDAG fund to offset the cost of the new furnace to heat the upstairs, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. So that's a note that will have to go to Elaine, Carl, that we'll need to move $2,400 out of RDAG to help pay for that furnace. Oh, I'm getting way too many pieces of paper here. All right, what is that? Okay, then, under new business, let's do the additions first. Seems like a plan, huh? Additions first, we have a request from the West River, what is mine? West River Modified Union Education District wishes to hold their board retreat in the town hall on Wednesday, September 4th, from 8 a.m. to 5:15 p.m. And they're asking permission to do so. At this point in time, that date is open.
I have no problem with
8 a.m. to 5 p.m.?
8 to 5:30, or 5:15, yes. So it's one of their full-day board retreats is what it sounds like.
that. Is that gonna interfere with anything we have going on
I mean,
day to day?
where does Carla end up working?
Right.
And then Elaine is in there as well.
Possibly, maybe. I mean, this is what we get into anytime, even on Thursdays when the clerk's office isn't open. If somebody is here during the day and there's an event scheduled, it disrupts
Yeah.
regardless. So the question is, do we want to approve them using it during the day?
I would say yes. I don't see, I mean, it's sort of dependent on what else is going on in the building, but if it's quiet and it's just,
Well, I'm assuming it's
a regular workday for Carla.
we'll see.
Fun icebreakers or something that you could be part of. You never know.
I know too many of the board members, I would have to completely avoid coming in. Absolutely. But, you know, basically what they usually do is sit down and do just the brainstorming and try to come up with where the board wants to go, et cetera, et cetera. They usually cater it, have some kind of a luncheon.
Oh, I'm staying in here then.
Oh, okay.
I would say we allow it to happen. I mean, it is the town's building supposedly, right?
Sure.
Well, so we need to make a motion and we need to also decide what to do about the fee.
So I make a motion that we allow the Modified Union Education District to hold their meeting on September 4th from whatever time to whatever time?
8 to
8
5:15.
to 5:15.
And for a fee of, you know what it doesn't say here is how much of the building they're using. They may be upstairs. That's a what is it, 15-man board?
Hmm.
13, I don't know.
I don't know whether.
I can find out more information tomorrow.
Well, that really depends, if they're using the entire building as opposed to just the downstairs, as to how much would be charged.
Right.
So we could set it either way, if they're
We
using the
could-
downstairs,
yeah,
it would be
yeah.
the standard fee,
Yeah.
if they're upstairs, it would be the fee for the upstairs.
But isn't the standard fee is usually only for, is that for just a whole day?
It's for an event, I think. It's an event rental, right?
Yeah, it's per event, it's not specific times.
Event.
So the motion so far is to allow them to use the building on September 4th from 8 until 5:15 for a fee of,
Well, the standard charge for the downstairs and the standard charge if they use the whole building.
okay, so we will need to know, Carla, what they want to use.
Second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on this?
Just to make things clear, what's the charge downstairs and then for the whole building?
It was
I want to say it's 100 and
101 and 100.
It's 101, 100 and 150, right?
Right, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
This comes up a lot. We should know this by now.
Maybe we'll start writing it on the calendar.
I know.
Just so we can remember.
Town hall rental.
get it to.
No fee. I don't have the answer to that for you right in this breath, Mr. Wright, but I can get it for the minutes. I still can't find a piece of paper.
Is that something that would be acceptable to put on the application so people are aware that that?
It's in the written document that they received.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is just the part that they turned in,
Right.
but they actually get a copy of the policy, which has the amount in it, and
I wonder if we should amend the form to reflect using just the downstairs of the whole building as an option.
We could leave it as,
25, oh no, that's a common. $100, a $100 fee payable to the town of Townsend will be required of any individual, group, party, or organization using the town common.
that's just the
Town hall.
common though.
Right.
Okay, well, we can
We have to clarify that.
We can certainly look it up as to what it is. I think it's
Yeah, I
50 for the downstairs, and I think it's 150 for the entire building, as I recall.
That sounds right.
But we'll have to verify that. All right, so then, is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, then all those in favor of allowing the West River Modified Union Education District to hold their board retreat in the town hall on Wednesday, September 4th, from 8 a.m. to 5:15 for a fee, for the usual fee dependent on the amount of building to be used or utilized, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes. So,
Downstairs and kitchen only is $50. Downstairs and auditorium is $100.
so it's $100 for the entire building then? Okay,
That's
so
all right,
it's,
sorry.
all right, so today's the 13th. Okay. So it's $50 for downstairs.
Mhm.
$100
Mhm.
for the whole building?
For the whole building, because it's prior to October.
And we'll need to make a copy of this to send back to them, Carla, as well as this copy will go into the book. So we have it, and we'll need to get it on the calendar. Okay, so that was West River. Make sure these don't get lost. The next one is a wedding, Kelly Johnson and Nathan Thomas on September 14th, and again, that day is clear. That's for, it actually says the wedding reception, and they have both the common and the town hall marked. don't know what that means. And then at the very bottom, it says, is insurance an absolute necessity?
Yes,
Oh, we went through that, yes.
yeah, it is,
I think there's some kind of liability if they burn the building down.
yeah.
I'm guessing the comments for the actual wedding or.
Yeah, ceremony and pictures and stuff, and then the hall for the reception.
Or the double dipping in case it rains.
That could be,
That could be, sure.
but again, I don't know how you'd like to.
Well, I make a motion that we allow the wedding to occur on September 14th at the standard fee structure that we've already established for the town. So it'd be $100 for the use of the common, and $50 for the use of the building, unless they use the entire building.
And then they do
And it's
$200 for the total, for the
For
common.
the
area.
town, correct.
Okay, so is that the motion?
My motion.
Second.
Okay. All right. So the motion, as I understand it, is to allow the town hall rental for a wedding on September 14th. Let's see, the common and or the town hall for a wedding on the 14th for a fee of $100 for the common, 50. How am I going to phrase that?
Mhm.
$50 for the
Standard
for the dining room of the
Downstairs.
town hall, $100 if in fact it's the entire building, or a total of 200. I mean, this is getting really confusing.
Mhm.
I don't know how.
Right,
How
the
would you
standard
put
fee
standard
structure
fee?
to range
Yeah.
between
Okay.
$150 and
Yeah.
$200 depending on the utilization.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any other discussion? And there was a second, was there not?
Yes, there was.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the use of the town hall on September 14th for a wedding, town hall, town common on September 14th for a wedding reception signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes. Okay, so again, that's 8. And I'll get this filled in later, because I'm not attempting to write it out. All right, then, moving on. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is, I don't like getting mail from the Department of Defense.
Should be drafted.
I did the Department of the Army, see? And it was made out to me, but that's scary. Okay,
Oh, you think they're not watching you?
evidently. This is a renewal of the 5-year lease for the dam road, being DAM road.
Yes.
Okay. With the Corps of Engineers, and we have to go through and renegotiate the lease every 5 years, and that's what this is a renewal of said lease with the U.S. Army. So I will entertain a motion to sign the supplemental agreement number 4 to extend the term of license number DACW 33-3-98-10 through December 31st, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Are there
What
any
is-
changes?
What is this giving us permission to do?
Keep the road
Use the road.
For us to use it or for them to use it?
for us.
For us to use it.
It's their dam.
On our land? Or their land?
They bought it.
Personally.
Of course they did. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the supplemental agreement with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion passes. I got a lot of signing to do, so that one get put somewhere important. Okay, whoops, that goes with that. I'm gonna have to go through all this. Next thing on the agenda, you should have all gotten a copy of the proposed tax rate.
I did not.
You did not. You missed somebody. I don't know if anybody has any questions about how it all came together. We were waiting at the last meeting for the hold harmless number that did come in, that came in a little higher than we thought, we anticipated from last year.
Well, then I'm glad we didn't estimate.
So, if there are no questions about it, I'll entertain a motion to set the tax rates at the highlighted numbers.
So moved.
No, state them. Yeah.
I move to set the tax rates for the total municipal and homestead rate at 2.3890 and the total municipal and non-resident rate at 2.1197.
Was there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on it?
So the homestead rate is actually a little bit less than we thought it might be from our,
Right,
based on the last.
but if you look, oh, you've got it's still up, roughly 3 cents.
From last year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not quite 4 cents, I guess. Most of that is the schools. It was offset with the CLA in the school. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of setting the total municipal homestead rate at 2.3890 and the non-residential total rate at 2.1197 for FY, or tax year 2020, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion passes. So, that takes care of that piece. Okay, let's see. We have to find the right clipboard. The next page, or the next thing that we need to discuss is the health reimbursement account for retirement benefits that we had talked about briefly. And the fact that we needed to have a special account to be able to reimburse those out of, to be within IRS rules. Carla did the research on it, and we are able to set up that appropriate type of an account through, what was it?
Health equity.
Health equity?
Health equity.
Okay. And then the total cost is $250 to set it up, and it's $4.95 per person per month charge to do that.
And how many members are there? How many persons would there be?
One right now with a potential of 2.
We eligible for this?
No. What, you on Medicare?
I might be.
Oh. Disability, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
mentally.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
You can see what happens.
And is this is a new request?
no, this is, what this is the extension of the discussion from the last
From
meeting
last
about
meeting.
covering spousal benefits. And we found out that it had to be done a different way than we had been doing it in the past. This is the correct way to do that per our policy.
I would move that we contract with Health Equity to set up the HRA for retirement benefit accounts as needed currently.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on what it is or how it's, what it's for?
No, it's basically, it's to reimburse for reimbursements.
Right.
Right.
All right, then all those in favor?
Reimbursements?
It's kind of circular logic math, but
All those in favor of setting up an HRA for retirement benefits through Health Equity, signify by saying aye.
I
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes, so that we'll need to get that paperwork taken care of tomorrow. All right, I had hoped, next thing on the list, I had hoped to have an update before our meeting tonight, and it didn't happen. But we had received a call, or I received a call, from a resident complaining about a failed septic system. And the request was made that we contact the health officer to do an inspection of this particular piece. The health officer was on vacation last week and was unable to actually comply. And Carla has left a message for Dr. Schaefer to see about going out and doing an inspection of the grounds. Supposedly, the initial problem has been solved by pumping the septic, but there's a lot of concern about the fact that it may have actually failed. The system may have failed. So at this point in time, we're kind of in the mix and in the loop, waiting to find out what the inspection reveals, whether or not we have to move forward on with the Board of Health on this particular issue.
This is a private person?
Yes, it is. What's the next one here? Is there any other business or any other discussion that needs to happen?
Would the board reconsider maybe taking the entire payment for the new for the new boiler out of RDAG instead of hitting the taxpayers? And you can still have that cushion if you have to repair the town hall?
The money's already in the budget.
No, we'll leave that alone, but wouldn't it be nice to just take it out of the 4,900 and then it's clear, it's all together? It's one unit?
Well, we could certainly do that, but at this point in time, we already had we're gonna raise that money regardless of this tax.
Yes, but if you don't, but if it's not, it'd be raised for it'd be raised if something else happened in the building.
Well,
That would be nice.
That's very true.
That'd be nice, and if not, it might go back to the residents. You
That
might,
hasn't happened in a long time.
but I didn't
Yeah.
know, it's kind of neat, you're not taking one to ride Peter and Paul. Would you take a serious look at the speed of Route 35?
What
From
would you like
Simpson
us to
Brook
do?
all the way down? They're not doing any of the speed limits we have posted.
No, they never have.
No, but I don't know.
They never have.
Yes, but it's kind of getting worse, sir.
But we have no law enforcement here other than the state troopers.
Other than the state trooper, but yes, I understand that.
So they can't be here
We,
doing traffic.
no, we have lowered them, and I just wanted to present the issue to
I
you.
agree with you, Cynthia, it's terrible. People use that like a drag strip through there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't think many people know Grace Cottage is a hospital?
Yeah, we just invested in those. Have you seen those blinkers?
Yes, I know. Did you get
Yeah,
permission?
So we have just put those up because
You need,
we can do something.
okay.
And we have permission to put the blinkers up?
Yeah.
Like that,
From where?
from here.
Oh, from the
Yeah.
town?
That was all approved, yeah.
Okay.
We did our due diligence.
I hadn't seen it anywhere. That's all. And I don't leave the hill often, but I'm quite constantly seeing somebody climbing over the gate to throw away their trash. 3
Yeah.
times this week, yes. Before, they're, I don't know who they are or anything, but also they pull in, I'm going, why are they pulling in? Because the gate's down and they're bringing their whole, I didn't see if it's bottles or cans. Yeah, yeah.
You know what's interesting is that raises the point. Someone asked me the other day, we used to have a banner on the side of the barn
It blew down,
stop
so I
sign?
understand.
that would tell people when it was open,
We
when
got
it
it.
was open,
Yes.
like when the garage was open for recycling and.
Yep.
And the stop sign was kind of exciting to see the stop sign and go, not supposed to be there. I didn't know, but I noticed it and I don't usually notice things like that.
Okay.
But they pull in and I'm thinking, it's not there. That's all. I will sit down. But I do like
Thank you.
RDAC paying for the boiler.
Well, it would, like I said, we were just looking to see what was in the budget, and there was the 25 that was already approved for building repair.
Yes, but RDAC's sort of free money.
It is, but it's also a nice cushion to have for those major expenses as well.
Yes, but 25 if you have to do something here would be helpful. That's all.
Okay, anybody else? Anything else? All right, then I will entertain a motion to move into executive session under 1 VSA 317C4 to discuss correspondence from the town's attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of moving to executive session at 7:07?
7:10 actually.
Okay, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, we'll take about a 5-minute break and then they come back for executive. There probably will not be a complete resolution tonight, so.